Pride in the morning. CFCY.
Brett Kissel joins me over the phone. Now, Brett, you've got a new single out. It's called Drink About Me. Tell me about it.
I'm really proud of this track. You know what? It's kind of a unique twist on a classic tale, and I guess maybe the best way to describe it is a memory song disguised as a drinking song, or maybe vice versa. It's a drinking song disguised as a memory song. I am so excited about this track, and not only you, but I hope all of your listeners enjoy this one as much as we enjoyed piecing it together in the studio.
More with Brett Kissel after Drink About Me on the Islands Country, 95.1 FM CFCY.
We were a million miles a minute. After all of this time, while I'm sipping, I miss you like crazy. Tell me, baby, do you drink about me? Do you drink about me?
95.1 FM CFCY, the Islands Country, with the latest from Brett Kissel. That was Drink About Me. Brett joins me on the phone now. So, Brett, your new album, Now or Never, is available for pre-order, and that single, which just dropped, is a really great song. There's a little bit of a cheekiness to it, but there's also kind of a somberness to it as well.
Well, for sure. And you know what? Country music has had the ability, for so many years to tell a story, arguably better than any other genre can. And this is a story I think a lot of people have been through. I've been through this, where sometimes you sit back, you have that drink, and it takes you back to the greatest party you ever had, or, your great love, or the great vacation that you took, or sometimes love lost, and all of those different things. And for me, I was really happy to be, I guess, the teller of this tale. And we shot an incredible music video that's out on YouTube right now that I truly believe brings this song to life.
I've had this conversation with a few other artists, and I'm interested to get your take on it. I firmly believe that breakup songs hit you more in the feels than a really happy love song does.
Oh, for sure. You know what? It's sadness, and I'm sure there's probably some scientists out there that could probably talk about some scientific fact that, sadness will hit your heart more than happiness will, excel your heart. But with all that being said, country music has that ability, I think, to take you back in those type of reminiscing fashions. And I'll tell you, when I hear a George Jones song from, previous generations, or when I hear a song from Johnny Cash, or there's a song like Thomas Rhett had, She Wants to Get Married, but She Ain't Gonna Marry Me, that hits me in my feels more than anything I've ever heard in my life. And this is just our take on some of those sad moments. But I'll tell you, you can use this song, Drink About Me, to celebrate too, however you want to look at it. But we tried to be as reflective as we could in the music video and while we were in the studio.
Now, the video itself is also pretty cool. You had a couple of guest stars, Caitlin Bristow and Jason Tartick. They're both from your favorite show, The Bachelor, right?
Yes, they were. They're both from Bachelor Nation. And I think a lot of people out on Prince Edward Island, call The Bachelor, that show, their guilty pleasure. For me, I used to call it my guilty pleasure. Now I just remove guilty. It just is my pleasure. It's one of my favorite damn shows on TV. That and Hockey Night in Canada. Hockey Night in Canada is still my first favorite, so everybody can understand that I'm still a hockey guy, still a guy at heart. That said, these two guys are incredible friends of mine and my wife Cecilia's, and we had dinner with them a couple of months ago, and we said, hey, we've got this idea. Let's take it to a tropical location. Let's film this video and make it special, and they really did.
That's awesome. So while we're on the topic of hockey, I have to ask respectfully, I know your favorite team is the Edmonton Oilers. Will they ever make the playoffs again, Brett?
Not only are we going to make the playoffs, my friend, but we're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. You're hearing it first here on CFCY. I'm making a proclamation that you're going to have to play back in June when we're hoisting the cup up high. And I'll tell you why we're going to win the cup. If St. Louis can win the cup, they were dead last in January. If the Golden Knights can go all the way to the Cup Finals the year before, and they weren't supposed to do that great, well, why can't the Oilers do it?
Well, listen, as a Leafs fan myself, I can certainly appreciate cheering for a team that is constantly losing. But, eventually things get better. You got to have hope.
You know what? You guys have a lot of firepower. I'll tell you, I think this is Canada's year. I'm just going to throw it out there. Yeah. I think this is Canada's year to have a really great showing in the playoffs. Montreal was doing very, very well down the stretch. Last year, I think the Habs can do well this year. I think that the Leafs are going to do well this year. I think the Jets are going to do well. I don't know about Vancouver, but I'll tell you, Calgary and Edmonton, I'm pretty sure are going to make it. I'm just going to say I don't know about the Senators and I don't know about the Canucks this year. Those are probably the only two teams that won't make the playoffs from Canada. That's my prediction.
The new album by Brett Kissel, Now or Never, is available for pre-order wherever you download or stream music. It drops January 1st. The new single is out now. It's called Drink About Me. Brett, thank you so much for doing this, and we look forward to seeing you next time you come to the island.
You betcha, my friend. I cannot wait to get back to PEI, and I'll tell you, when we do, it'll be a hell of a party.
Pride in the morning on 95.1 FM CFCY.